Hello and welcome to Sheepdog Says. I'm Sheepdog, and today I'm quite excited actually, very excited. My wife and I had a chat about 11 o'clock today. She sent me a message saying that she was worried we weren't going to get flights booked for a holiday in time. We needed to step up, we needed to do it, and we did. We've sorted it, but not without its usual cartoon life nonsense. We'd gone back and forth on pricing and everything as we do, and I'd sent my wife a text saying these are the best I've found. You know, look, they go in and out, whatever. This is a setup. We should book this. I mentioned to my boss we were looking at it and that we were planning on going on this date and to that date, and he said to me, "Well, put it in the system quick and book it because you need to get it authorized before you book anything." So then I'm trying to book it, and I get a text from my wife going, "How many bags do we need?" And I'm like, "I don't know, 2." And then I said to my boss, "Right, I've submitted it." And he was like, "Oh, you want 10 days off work? I'm gonna have to take that to the boss just to check. It's right at the end of the month. So you know, if we have any big deals coming in, we'll need you about and all of this." And so I'm like, "All right, go check with him. I probably need you to check imminently," because she was looking at bags last we spoke. So he went off and made a phone call, comes back, he's going into the boardroom to have a chat. I can hear him talking, and I get a text from my wife going, "It's all booked, this is how much it was, I'm forwarding you the details." And I'm like, "Oh God, no." And I'm whispering to my colleague going, "She's already booked it. If he says no, then I've got to basically say, well, tough. She's already booked it. What do I do?" And he's like, "It'll be fine, it'll be fine." And I'm like, "No, but he specifically said don't book it because, you know, it's the end of the month. It could be serious. You know, there could be something big on." I was like, "I'll have to figure out a plan. I'll have to come up with some sort of story." I text my wife in the gap before she texts me saying, "Just let me know before you do anything." But I'm guessing she either hadn't seen it or she just ignored it, because when I got that text, my heart was pumping. It was just like boom, 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 and I'm waiting. My boss came out and he didn't respond straight away. He went and sat down, and I was like, "Can you let me know what was happening?" And he said, "I've just got to check that it doesn't clash with anyone else's holidays, make sure no one else has tried to book that week off." And I'm trying to explain to him the system doesn't it tells you if anyone else has got it off. And he's like, "Oh, well, I'll just confirm it." And then one of my colleagues just shouted over, "Well, you're going to have to approve it because she's already booked it." And my boss basically went, "I figured she would have done." And I was like, "Well, I didn't figure." He was like, "I knew she'd book it." And I said, "Well, why do you know that?" And he was like, "Because my wife does the same sort of thing to me all the time." And I was like, "But mine doesn't. Mine's never really like that. Mrs. Sheepdog never really does stuff like that." And he was like, "No, no, no. I'm sure she does. You probably either not aware of it or you've just not had enough opportunities." And it made me think then, because she doesn't do it that often. I've had lectures in the past about like don't waste money, and then I've noticed like a bag full of Next stuff, like stuff from the clothes shop Next has come in, and she's like, "Oh, well, I had to buy this T-shirt for our son, or I had to buy this whatever," and I'm like, "Ugh." But in this sort of instance, she was just like, "I booked it. These are the dates. These are the times. This is when we go and we get back." So I'm all like, again, I booked it all, and then about 4 hours later, I suddenly thought, when does this plane actually land in the UK? And I looked, and sure enough, it arrives in the UK at 6:30 on the Monday, and not the Sunday I'd booked till. So I had to go back and ask for the Monday off as well. And he was like, "Well, what are you going to do if I say no now?" And I'm like, "Well, I could probably get in an hour late if you really want me to come in." And he was like, "Yeah, but you'll be jet lagged." And I said, "Yeah, but basically, either give me the day off or don't. I'll make it in eventually. It's your call on whether I'm a robot or, you know, whether I'm just destroyed or whether I'm a machine and working hard." So he authorised it because he wasn't, you know, he's not a bad person. He was going to be kind to do it anyway. But oh man, I'm so excited after that point. It's what I've been thinking about all afternoon. But we haven't got any accommodation sorted. We haven't got any vehicles sorted. We haven't got anything at the moment. I'm basically flying to America on one day, and at a point 14 days later I'm allowed to get on a plane and come home. What we do in the in between bit is just a hole at the moment. I realised, well, I suppose you can't apply for a visa until you've got tickets, but we haven't done that bit yet either. And I'm kind of like, well, what if, I don't know, Trump reads my tweets at him and decides that I'm not allowed in his country? Then I'm screwed. I don't think it's illegal to tweet the president saying you're a bit of a moron or whatever. If it is, I'll tidy up. I think my tweets delete after 2 weeks anyway, so I'm probably fine. But no, thinking about it, after saying she doesn't do stuff like that, I do remember when I was first in my current job, I'd obviously been really depressed, really sad and unwell and all this. And I got a text from her saying, I can't remember the numbers now, but she said, is this amount a good price for an Xbox One? And I replied, like, yeah, that's pretty good, actually. That's quite a good deal. Where have you seen that? And she just replied, good, because I bought you one. And I was like, what? And I remember just doing a lap of my office, just like absolutely thrilled, because she'd basically thought, you've had a really rough 6 months. I'm going to get you an Xbox. We'd both started jobs where we, for the first time in ages, we actually had money and that sort of thing. So it was a really, really awesome thing. But we've never really done stuff like that since. It's like, I'm not brave enough. I will sometimes get her a gift that is a bit more than we'd agreed or whatever, but she's very good at just going, I think it's probably because, she's got the strength, she's the powerhouse, she's the one who can say, I brought us flights, and I'm not going to go, oh, what the hell? I'm more likely to go, okay, cool, let's go tomorrow, and drop everything. But no, we're at a point now where we're in preparation for the next, whatever it is, 11 weeks. We're going end of July, so 11 weeks ish, if I worked it out right. The kids were so excited. We sat Lamp up and Bosco down, and I said, like, family announcement, listen, and I was like, we booked a holiday, and they were excited, and I was like, on a plane, and then they got even more excited. And I said, to, and my son said, America, and I said, yes, where are we going in America? And then they come out with the most ridiculous things. There's a YouTuber called Ryan that my son's really obsessed with watching at the moment. And he was like, are we going to go and see Ryan? And I said, like, no, better. And he couldn't think of anything better. But we are planning on going to Disney. So Lamp Up figured it out, so she's excited. I can't wait. I think it's going to be really cool. We're going with my mother-in-law as well, so she'll have a good time. It'll be awesome. The 6 of us are going to go. The weird thing is, flights they charge you a lot to book where you want to sit. It looks like something like 300 quid roughly if I want to sit in a designated seat there and back. So my options are turn up and hope that we've understood the policies right and they sit a child next to an adult, which we think they do. Be wrong and then all be dotted around in different places and have a 5-year-old and a 9-year-old sat on their own, which I don't think will happen. But there's a chance that me and, like, say, my son will be at the back of the plane. My wife and my daughter will be, like, at the front of the plane. And for some reason, they've coupled the baby with my mother-in-law. They've done it in age order. Because she's the oldest person in the party, they've just coupled the baby with her. Even though the plan would always be that I'd have the baby sat on my lap and sort of tied to me, they've just decided, yeah, the baby goes with you because you're old. So at the moment, I'm going to be with one of the kids, and my wife's going to be with one of the other kids, and she's going to be with the baby, and we're just going to have to wait for the plane to get in the sky and then swap all around. I think that would be more exciting in one weird way. If we were all on a road together, I think we'd all feel a bit cramped. I suppose there'll be other people anyway. I'm just thinking it'd be nice to be able to get up and go and swap, or the kids to swap, or whatever. When I flew to America as a child, I remember we were running up and down the plane the whole way. I've not been on a plane that big since. I don't know whether it's just all long-haul flights are bigger or what, but I remember we were basically playing hide and seek, which seems a bit bizarre when there's only got to be so many places you can hide on a plane. We must have been a nightmare for the other passengers. I mean, it's quite uncanny, actually, because we got on a plane with my cousins, and when we took off, we realised that one of my sister's best friends and her family were on the same flight as us going out to the same place. I don't think we bumped into them any time while we were out there, but on that flight we were all running around playing games and that. I don't think my kids will be doing that this time. They might do, who knows. It'd be quite cool if we got on the flight and some of Lamp Up's friends were on there, because that'd keep her entertained. But at this point, I desperately need advice on if there's anywhere out there that does a car and accommodation for a decent price. That's the thing, like finding somewhere to stay. There's loads of them on Airbnb and all sorts. It looks quite cool. America's got some awesome looking places, but the problem we've got is it's like ridiculous money for a car. I don't know whether to just get a car and drive around or get a taxi everywhere, and it's probably going to cost pretty much the same. Apparently people don't walk. A lot of places have like buses out to the Disney places, but it's around that, so I don't know. I'm excited as hell. Only 11 weeks. I'm already trying to figure out what the hell I'm going to do about this while I'm there. Do I do videos while I'm there and then upload them over night time, which means it'll be sort of however many hour delay? 8 hours, is it 4 hours? I can't remember how many hours behind it is, but or do I just bank a load and then just release 14 on a schedule and forget about it for 2 weeks? I don't know. It's something for me to figure out at some point or another by then. hopefully this will continue to grow. Anyway, I'm excited. Does anyone else have a partner who does this kind of thing? I'm sure there's other examples of her doing it. I genuinely don't remember examples of me doing it ever, other than maybe buying her an iPad at one point or another, stuff like that. But I've never just bought something. I mean, my dad used to turn up with cars when I was younger. I'm sure my mum probably knew vaguely that they were going to get one, but I remember him just turning up with new cars that none of us knew about and stuff like that. So I haven't done that before. But have you ever done that? Has your partner ever done that? Anywhere I can look for good accommodation on the trip to America. Anything I should do while I'm out in Florida other than the Disney stuff, because my wife reckons it won't take the full 14 days. I'm adamant it'll take at least 10 to 12 of them. But I don't know, I could be wrong. I'm sure we did other things when I was out there when I was a kid. Yeah, let me know, I suppose. Your advice is very, very welcome. I'm going to wrap it up from there because, yeah, I think I've done enough. Give me a subscribe, a like, a comment. I'm at 203 now, I think, so I'd love to get to beyond that. I've got to do Mature Gamer tonight, so if you're watching and you haven't listened to that before, listen to it. It comes out on iTunes tomorrow. If you are listening to it already, thank you, and I'll see you on that. Yeah, all I've played this week is Fortnite, I think, pretty much, so that's pretty much what I'll talk about. If you listen, you're used to me not playing that much, but that is the newest game I've played. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you soon. Have a good bank holiday weekend for those watching in real time.